Welcome back to Booked and Bonded, live from the realm of books, banter, and best friend chaos. We're your hosts, Lizzie
and Larissa.
So grab your snacks and your favorite beveragino, and let's get bonded over Fourth Wing.
Yay! I have to celebrate every time because it's so impressive to me.
What's today's impressive?
Yes! I wouldn't be able to do it without reading, regardless of if you were feeding me the words or not.
Thanks. I always thought it was more of just like, yay, we're opening.
Well, yes, that too. I am excited to be opening.
Larissa, what is your beverage and snack of choice today?
Great question. Today, I have a 7-Up cherry and there's a giant aqua solo cup with a matching straw. It's very much giving you vibes.
I hear that crunchy ice and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I love my ice maker. It's the best thing ever, and I use it all day, every day. And then my snack is actually my lunch, so I have hard-boiled eggs, cherries, and a string cheese. What you got?
I actually only have a beverage, and it's just a water.
Heck yeah! Hydrate or dihydrate.
We're recording a little bit later today, so I had a lunch beforehand, so...
And I got distracted by editing and uploading and having fun with computers, so I have not eaten yet.
That's totally fair. Totally fair.
Do you have any bookish life updates?
I am reading the second graphic novel for Harry Potter, so the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I haven't started that one yet.
I'm not super far, probably a couple chapters in. They've made it... to Hogwarts. They flew the car to Hogwarts. It is my favorite book.
Of the series?
It's my favorite movie. I think it might be my favorite book. I just think, like, it gives you a little bit more, but it still has that, like, warm nostalgia feeling.
Yeah.
Before it gets dark. So.
I feel like after 3, maybe a little bit of 4, like, the nostalgia starts to turn into, like, anxious.
It's not
like, intense.
Yeah, it's not that it's not nostalgia. It's just not that, like, warm, fuzzy.
Cozy.
Yeah. I will say, I think 3 is my least favorite book.
I know 3 is my older brother's favorite book.
They're just so whiny in that book. And it's, oh, Hermione's cat killed my rat. Oh, Ron's so mad at me.
Well, it makes sense for their age.
I understand that, and you tell me that every time, but I still don't like it.
I'm like, it's developmentally appropriate, Lizzie. Get with the program.
What about you? Are you reading anything fun?
I just finished 'Tis a Season for Revenge.
Oh, you finished!
Amazing. It was so much fun. Good. It was friendship and revenge and great communication and terrible communication and all of this fun stuff and totally pink and so cute. And I loved it. There was no, like, secret babies. There was nothing like that. So, and the ending was satisfying. Good. Which I like.
That is very good.
Yeah.
You have tropes that, like, just immediately make you stop enjoying the book.
Yeah. Definitely anything involving a child. I do not enjoy, like, a surprise child in any way.
I don't like pregnancy tropes. Like,
yeah. It's
just, a lot of the time, it feels, especially if it's at the end of the book, it feels like it's just, it feels lazy. It feels like lazy writing. And I don't like
As if we could ever write books.
I could never. It's just, like, in the sense of, like, you see these people go through crazy things, and then
that's
it's
the
like,
ending you chose to give them.
Yeah, it's like, in no way in my mind I would picture these two people, like, going through all this stuff and being like, yep, kid. Like, they dated for, like, 4 months, and they need some time.
Well, that gives me the thought of, like, rushed marriages. I hate that. Let the relationship boil. Let it stew for a bit. Give me the yearning. Give me the build-up. Give me the conversations that happen in the middle. I need the whole span of the relationship before you give me marriage.
What are your thoughts on enemies to lovers, then?
Well, I guess truly it depends how it ends. Like, for enemies to lovers, it depends how long they've been together before they truly make that final commitment. Because I don't mind if it goes quickly into a relationship. I just don't want it to quickly go into marriage.
Interesting. There's like a handful of my books that, like, it's arranged marriage.
I see what you're saying.
And so, like, it's like immediate, you're married even though you hate each other. And
yeah, I think that's kind of like forced proximity too. I don't mind that as much as, like,
they chose
to get married right away. That makes no sense. Because most people in their right minds don't do that.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I love it. Well, sidetracking completely. It's a fourthling, which has, I wouldn't say no forced proximity.
Kinda.
Has no babies yet.
Yay!
So are you ready to open the archives?
Let's do it. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
You say beautiful. Anytime someone says beautiful, I'm like, beautiful, crazy.
The archives are open, Larissa.
All right, the archives are open. Let's do this.
What is
Chapter
the
10.
Epigraphy. Nope.
I heard her use the word in an interview, and it makes me feel so satisfied with us. Yes, I was so proud of us.
What's chapter 10's epigraph, Larissa?
It is from page 46 of the Book of Brennan, which is very extensive, I've just decided. But not extensive enough. Anyway, here we go. Don't underestimate the challenge of the Gauntlet Mirror. It's designed to test your balance, strength, and agility. The times don't matter for shit, only that you make it to the top. Reach for the ropes when you have to. Coming in last is better than coming in dead. Great advice.
Very good advice. Very good advice. So we open this chapter, and it is Violet's squad. Only her squad. No one else. No other squads are there.
That's how I like it.
Because there's no Jack effing Barlow. Yet. Yeah. But it is Violet staring up, and up at the Gauntlet, which is a humongous obstacle course that every cadet has to go through in order to do presentation, which is in 2 weeks.
In my notes for the Gauntlet, think more extreme Ninja Warrior course in a cliff.
Yeah. Really wanted to visualize it, so I looked up. And this is on Reddit. This is from a post from...
I love Reddit.
It's r/4thwing created this image.
Oh my gosh. That makes so much sense, though. I couldn't visualize, the turns, because she said it was, a pretty crazy turn, but that makes so much sense based on how it's described. That is such a good picture.
I know.
With a dragon flying above it.
Yes, so thank you, r/4thwing on Reddit for...
That is fantastic.
Helping me actually visualize. It was really nice to, look at that picture while I was reading it, and each person was going through. You could kind of, pick where they were going.
And I was looking up the, actual definition of gauntlet, trying to figure out why, as Riddick was questioning why, which I had no idea by the time I was questioning why it is called the gauntlet. When I looked it up, I came to the conclusion that it was probably when you run the gauntlet, so you go through an intimidating or dangerous crowd or experience in order to reach a goal. Yeah. But later we find out from Emma Terrio that it's actually based on the armor gauntlet, which is what covers a hand, and it's a protection for the veil.
He said that it stuck about 20 years ago. I want to know what they called it before that.
Here's your obstacle course, have fun.
Here's your death course.
Hope you don't die. Hope you find your dad.
This gauntlet they have. What happened?
I'm just thinking about the implication of all of them finding their dads. If you think too hard, it gets worse.
Okay, so the gauntlet is something that they only get to have 2 weeks to train on. They get about 10 practice sessions. The first one is about an hour long, so I'm going to take the assumption that all of them are roughly an hour long. The gauntlet is timed, and based on your whole squad's like average time is your order for presentation. And so the gauntlet has like these 5 sections, like we saw in the picture if you're just listening. There's these 5 sections, and you're going up a cliff. And each section is supposed to like base off of something that you're going to have to deal with, either from balancing on your dragon, or the strength you need to stay on your dragon during maneuvers, or even climbing up and mounting your dragon after like a battle or something. So these are all supposed to be challenges for like you and your dragon to prove that you're worth to go see them. And then you go to the presentation, which is really just the candidates walking across a field with all 100 dragons that are bonding this year, just there for the dragons to look at the candidates and the candidates to look at the dragons.
I would be so scared of all of this. All right.
It's true. This is, I think, my breaking point. While they're just like staring up, we see all 9 members of Violet's squad. Professor Immaterio is also the sparring teacher. I had never actually realized that he did both, but I think I said in the previous episode, like, I'm really bad at, like, differentiating the professors. They're all the same person in my brain. Oracle peeps up and she's, like, super excited. She has, like, her normal black eyes are kind of dancing with excitement because she's like, oh, this is going to be such a rush. I'm so excited. My dad used to set up these little hospital courses for us when we were, like, back when we were younger, and she's like, I can't wait. And Violet's
I've been training for this my whole life.
It's like, you are crazy.
Yeah, like, you need medical attention if you think this is gonna be fun.
Where are the healers? She needs a CT scan.
The whole squad is talking between themselves.
Yeah.
And Tynan is making comments, and he's like, Violet's the weak one, so, like, she gonna need to, like, work
Practice,
on this shit. Yeah.
And he's just kind of being a prick about everything. And then he finally was like, starts picking on her and Dane, and he's like, yeah, Atos is going to be really impressed with you if you make it. And I was like, talking about how, well, isn't it weird that she's sleeping with our squad leader? She's getting preferential treatment and everything. And Riddick, for the first time, is like, shut up, dude. He's like, she's in our squad, just like, shut up. It's like, good for you, Riddick. Standing up for V.
And Luca was also like, yeah, she is sleeping with him, so, like, it's weird.
It's weird. And then Ree and Riddick are both like, are you guys stupid? They're best friends. Do you guys not know government? Like, her mom and his dad work together. His dad is her mom's aide. I thought it was funny that, like, Tyan was like, oh, really? What? Dude.
I mean, that's exactly what propaganda does to someone, because he's been listening to his new bestie, Jack.
Effing Barlow.
Yeah, so Jack's obviously going around trying to spread rumors, which it's not too far-fetched. I don't really blame him for coming to that conclusion, but it is causing problems for Violet.
Yeah, Violet even says, like, if I'm gonna get, like, rumors about it, let me at least have the benefits of it. The professor comes back, and he's like, okay, Sawyer, you're gonna start and show everyone how it's done, because Sawyer, as we remember, he is a repeater, so he has done the gauntlet before. So he goes and he shows everyone how it does. Almost perfectly. I have 10 out of 10 marks. That's what I would give him.
Heck yeah.
And then after Sawyer finishes, every 60 seconds, another person from the squad is going to start. And so we kind of go through the squad. So the next person I have is Pryor, that goes right after Sawyer. And then we have Trina, which I had to go back and look at, because I made a squad list a couple chapters ago when they like gave us the whole squad. And I was like, who is Trina? Who is she?
Yeah, who is she?
And she was there in my squad list. And then like literally the next sentence was, yeah, she like doesn't talk. Like I can name on my hand like the times that she's talked to me. And I was like, Lizzie, keep reading. So it goes, Sawyer goes first, and then the stagnation goes every 60 seconds. It is Pryor, Trina, Tynan, Rhiannon, Riddick, Violet, Orly, Luca. It's all our squad members. We're all here. And Pryor goes, and he is the one that's like very wishy-washy. He's like not really sure if he wants bacon or sausage, and it's really hard because I understand those are great proteins. I'm gonna die on that hill or something.
I'm going with you.
And then he kind of like gets caught up on the iron bars, I believe. It was just like the third section, but he makes it. Trina also makes it, and then so Tynan goes, and he goes over the first hurdle pretty good.
All right, so we have 5 ascents, and some of them have a couple different things that you do on each ascent, but this is how they're set up in the Gauntlet. So in the first one, you have a 15-foot spinning log that's parallel to the cliff, followed by 4 granite pillars, each one higher than the last, and each pillar is about 3 feet apart. And then your first switchback is a giant wheel that has a counterclockwise rotation and only one opening. So that's all in the first ascent that they have to pass. And then the second one is a series of 5 giant hanging balls hanging from chains linked to an iron rail above them that cadets must jump or hug to swing across. They're wide enough that the cadets would be able to be unable to hold them, and they would slip off. So if they don't catch the rope, they are immediately gone. Then the third ascent is it has a couple different things. So the first part has 3 giant textured metal rods hanging parallel to the cliff wall, lined up like battering rams, and cadets must go over arm, and then use their momentum to swing the bars forward to reach the next bar. And each bar is a half foot higher than the previous. And then the second part has the cadets jump from the last bar onto a series of shaking iron pillars before finally leaping onto the gravel path. And if that wasn't enough, they have to go to the fourth ascent. So roughly 2/3 of the way up the cliffside, one of the steepest sections of the course, and has a series of 7 nearly touching 3-foot wide timber logs that spin in opposite directions, jutting out from the rocky terrain like a set of round steps rising from the switchback above it. These logs crush a cadet if they are not fast enough. This is followed by a giant chimney formation, which is a hollow column that rises at a 20-degree angle upwards, and cadets need to grab the sides of the formation by forming an X with their body and hop up until they reach the end, and ends at the foot of the final obstacle, which is the 5th and final ascent. A wooden ramp that juts 10 feet out from the cliff wall and then curves upward like inside of a bowl. The highest point level with the cliff top is 10 feet above its base, making it a nearly vertical climb to finish the course. And it's designed to test the agility to climb a dragon's foreleg and reach its saddle. There are no ropes at this section of the course.
Because there is ropes every 6 feet on the rest of the course, and if you grab them, it like costs you 30 seconds on your time, but it's better than your life.
Yeah.
Gosh, thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds so fun. Orkley, it sounds so fun.
She's like, yeah, let's do this. Could you imagine someone building something like that in their backyard?
A mini version, like, not like that. No, not that. I could see obstacle courses, but that's insane.
Yeah.
So, Tynan, he gets over the 15-foot circling log, perfectly fine, goes through the round of circle thing that's spinning, and now he's on the five giant balls that are hanging from chains, and he kind of gets stuck on this. During this, Rhiannon gets called, and she starts doing it. She's agile as ever. She's doing amazing, because she's our Rhi, and she can't do anything wrong. Rebecca, that's not saying you should kill her off.
No, she sucks. She needs so much practice.
Like, she's, like, too perfect. She might need to become less perfect.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
I like this moment because Riddick is kind of being a dick to Tynan at this moment, and Violet's like, stop, like, don't do it. And he's like, but he's given me so many materials. Which, like, agreed, and I would probably also kind of be mean to him, but I like that sorry if I call her V, that's how I write her in my notes, so I don't have to write out Violet.
I put V-I.
Oh, I like that. Violet is, like, showing her compassion inside, and she's like, don't be a dick to him. Come on. We're better than him. Then Rhi reaches him, and Violet calls up, and she's like, there's the rope right here, and Rhi gives Tynan the rope to, like, help him out.
While she's balancing on these balls.
Yes! Because she's perfect! But not too perfect. Rebecca, not too perfect.
No, she is too perfect. And that's the point.
That's a flaw. She needs to come over. We're fighting so hard. But Rhi is balancing on these balls, hands him a rope, and he climbs down.
Yeah, he literally just gave up. Instead of continuing, he was like, I'm not fixing this. I'm getting the heck out of here. Can't blame him for that. But also, this is what you get. That's your karma for making fun of Violet right before.
Yeah. Riddick then also goes, and then it's Violet's turn. She is going up. She's like, quick feet, runs. She's getting to the switchback of the circle. She gets to the balls. She saw what Rhi did, where she, like, kind of went on top of the balls, and she got past the balls, and now she's on the iron bars that she has to climb. She slams into the cliff, gets a little cut on her face. It's fine.
Probably has a concussion or 7.
Rhi's like, the ropes are beside you. She grabs the rope, doesn't climb down. She keeps going. While she's also doing this, Orally also starts her run. Violet is now on, the 4th ascent, but one thing I like, she's like, she has to calm herself down, and she still, like, names facts to calm herself down, which is, like, I love that about her.
Yes. Which yeah.
She talks about dragons.
So, when Violet is talking about the dragons, she talks about, interestingly enough, the first one she talks about is Feathertails. She said that they hate violence and they're not suitable for bonding, but they rarely ever leave the veil, so the person who wrote that doesn't actually know how true that is. It's just what we assume to be true.
Do you think that that's her dad?
Writing it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I just know that
some people might
research on them, so I just didn't know if she looked at some of his research.
How would she have it? She hasn't gone anywhere to get anything yet.
I just thought, like, it would be public.
Previously.
Yeah, published research. But I don't know. I was just curious.
And then we learn about green dragons because they are rational. And they come from the, I'm going to butcher this so bad, Wayne Lloydsig line. Which, in my research, translates roughly to green logic.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then we learn about orange dragons. They're unpredictable and a risk. I was looking at interviews of Rebecca because I wanted more information on this from some of the stuff that you said last week. So she said not all orange dragons are bad. They're just like the ADHD dragons of the pack. Which I love that. I can grasp my mind around that.
Okay. I like that.
Orange dragons range from apricot to carrot in color, and they descend from the Ficorian line, which roughly translates to see orange. Like
See as-
SEE.
Okay.
Like your eyeballs.
Well, yeah, I see orange. I love it. Okay. I love her little facts that she just used to calm her down. And Horkley does. She's like, "Are you studying?" And she's like, "I'm calming down."
She's like, "No, I'm past the studying phase. This is ingrained."
This is just muscle memory.
So they're actively going through the gauntlet.
Yes, as this is happening. And then Violet gets through the spinning pillars. She's on the chimney.
She's crushing it, by the way.
She is. She's doing so good. She looks up and sees a belly of a green dragon.
A green dagger tail.
Ooh, do we know who that is?
Uh-huh.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Who is it?
It's Fierge. It's Reese.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Ree!
Anyway, the dragon comes. It's terrifying. It's huge. We're not used to seeing them yet as first years. So Violet's looking up. She's a little scared. But Orly is still actively going through her obstacle. And she gets distracted too.
She slips. And she can't get her grip. And she falls. And the scene ends. And it breaks to the next morning's death call. And you hear that Orly did not make it. It is their first death of the squad.
Which they were the only squad up until that point that was still intact. Yeah. Which was super cool. And she should have been like one of the last ones to die because of how prepared she was. Mm-hmm. But this is my point. She had to die so that Rebecca could show that it doesn't matter how long you've had to train. It doesn't matter what you've done before this and how prepared you are right in that moment. Anything can happen. Anyone can die.
That's a good point. She's just a badass. Yeah. But we have Ree, who's also a badass. And overly perfect. She needs to work on that.
See, her dragon just kills anyone.
See, yeah, that's an issue, Rebecca. We need to get that figured out. Oh, sad day. Okay. Then it goes to Violet is going to go burn Orly's items because there is two options when you pass away at the Riders Quadrant. Your family can either come grab your items and your body and burn it themselves, or they can leave it for the school to put it under, or a body under a stone, and their items to be burned. And they chose the second door.
I have a feeling that her dad specifically, was so annoyed that she died that he's like, well, I don't care. That's her own fault.
Rude. But yeah, it's like, dude, I trained you so much. I gave you all the chances. And then it's like, you died on that?
Yeah.
Dane offers to be there with her. Violet's like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. So she goes and burns Oracle's stuff late that night. And then she slowly gets back to the dorm, or goes back to the dormitory. But before she does, she notices 3 dragons flying in from the west back to the Vale.
Before I read the rest of the chapter, I convinced myself this was Taryn, Sigale, and Indarnuk. Just because I wanted it to be a cute picture.
Just having a little family run around.
Yeah, I thought that was so sweet.
We gotta go to the store, guys. Get a little bit of dragon's milk. Oh, no, and Darna doesn't like that. We have to get the goat's milk. And Darna's like, goats? I can't wait till they come. I love them so much.
I know. I've missed them. I yearn to read their chapters.
I yearn for the sass of the old man. Violet sees that people are walking back through the door for the flight fields, and she kind of like tucks away in the corner in the shadows. Smart. And to like see who it is, and who are they?
It is Xaden, Garrick, and Bodhi. So it was their 3 dragons that she saw coming back in.
And Bodhi and Garrick are kind of saying things in the nature of like, I wish we could do more to help them. Like,
I don't know what to do. What can we do?
I don't know what to do. What can we do? And then Xaden kind of stops, registers that she's there, and Bodhi and Garrick are like, "What's up?" He's like, "Nothing, go back." And so they leave, and he like kind of stares there, and she's like, "I know you know I'm here. Don't."
She's not gonna play stupid.
She's like, so she walks out, and she's like, "Don't talk about like how you command the shadows or whatever." Yeah, I'm here out of curfew, just like you are, whatever. She's so
thinking,
over it.
she's thinking to herself, she's like, I can't be weak. I got this.
And she's also had a rough day, so she's like, I'm not gonna deal with his sass and attitude, like, whatever.
With their conversation when the guys were coming in, with what we know, I assume they're talking about, like, their weapons and figuring out if they can get anything else or what else they can do to protect everyone.
And I do think that this is the mission that Sigale was talking about last chapter with Xaden, from Xaden's point of view, where it's like, you have a mission to go to the West next weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense. When Violet walks out, she's already pretty close to Xaden, but throughout the conversation, they get closer and closer, and she says he smells like mint, leather, and something that borders between citrus and floral.
I wrote this down too. And I wrote it down specifically because of the car fragrance thing you have.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get the leather. Mm-hmm. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, Larissa purchased these bottles that have scents of like Violet, Basquiat, Xaden. I'm not sure if there's the Veil. I think is the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has Xaden in her car, and
yeah, I do.
It smells like cigars and leather.
It does.
And
we're both like, what is this? That does not smell like what Xaden would smell like.
And so I wrote this down. I was like, okay, they got the leather. I'm like, where's the mint? Where's the citrus? Like, I
do get a sweetness, but it's not citrusy and it's not minty.
Well, to cigars to me have a sweetness to them.
Yeah.
But it's like, and so I'm wondering, I always thought like maybe the car freshener is trying to go off of like the leather of Xaden, and then I
always assume like the cigar smells like a smoky smell and it represents his shadows. That's what I keep like explaining it away as.
I see it as later in this book he smokes a substance. I can't remember the substance, that's why I'm being vague.
I can't remember either.
That like helps damper the connection. And it's a forbidden substance. And so, like, that's my thought of, like, okay, maybe they're trying to, like, embrace that part of it. I don't know. But it's fine.
It's fine.
I just, like, you literally have the notes. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine.
So they're talking. Violet is still over it, but this is honestly just making her say what's coming to mind right away instead of holding back and being afraid like she normally would be. So it's kind of good to move their conversation along. And Xaden is kind of there just listening, and he's like a problem solver. So he's coming up with solutions in his mind. He's already protecting her because he's wrapping around them with the shadows, and he's like, we're having this conversation. It's obvious she needs to vent, even though we don't have his point of view. I know that's what's happening. And they're talking about it, and eventually Violet's like, I can't pass a gauntlet. Like, what the heck am I supposed to do?
He gives her the best quote of, the right way isn't always the only way.
Figure it out.
I love that quote even better because, or even like deeper than just like in this context, because it's like, yes, because you've been taught this is the right way you do things, doesn't mean it's the way things should be done.
And that makes so much sense with what he was just doing, what he's been really working towards his whole life, and he's saying it without really saying it. He's like, there are other things out there.
One thing though, he does grab her wrists, but it's always like talked about being gentle.
Gentle and caressing.
And he, like, is being aggressive with his words, but he's very gentle. And when she's, like, yeah, touching things you don't know, looking at her wrist, because she's actively trying to pull away, he caresses her wrist and then let go.
Yeah.
Xaden. Stop it.
Swoon!
Xaden says this, and they're, like, screaming down a hallway. They're not being subtle about this at all.
It's fine. The shadows conceal everything.
That is true. They're like, the right way is not the only way. Figure it out. And she's like, okay, fair enough. I'll figure it out.
She's still afraid at this point that he's going to kill her, but she's also like, I don't really care. Just get it over with at this point.
When we were at the Gauntlet, it was like one of the first times Violet really was like, I might take Dane's offer to go to the scribes. Mm-hmm. And it was just like that brief hint of scaredness, but she doesn't. She's like still here. But it's like she has that brief thing. And then we find out in this conversation with Xaden and her that Xaden knows that her and Dane have talked about. Dane's really trying to convince her to go back to the scribe. And she's like, how do you know that? And he's like,
the shadows. Which is such a freaking lie. It is not the shadows.
You think it's him reading them?
Yeah.
Well, he can't read thoughts, Larissa.
No, but he can read intentions. That's a thought that, like, an intention that she had at one point.
So, intentions to meet you.
It doesn't have to be an actual decision. You could intend to do something and never do it.
So do you think he, like, means, like, okay, like, if I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm gonna pour this water over her head. You thought this, and you're not hearing... He's hearing that thought and not, like, me having that...
It's hard to know. It's hard to tell. But
because it was an emotional thing, and I don't think it is now.
I don't think it is.
But
I also, like, if it was so confined to emotions or to one actual decision, he wouldn't be hiding it. Because it would have barriers. His doesn't have as many barriers as we might believe it does.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so, like, he would know, instead of that having that, like, rage I have to this one person, he would hear, oh, she wants to pour water over her head. Mm-hmm. Okay, totally, I get it. I still like the idea of the shadows being like little, being like...
I think they do too. I just don't,
think it's as intense as
how would that work? Like, how?
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Do they carry sound and make it, like, louder? Can he hear, like, does he have echolocation? Like...
I definitely feel like it's the sense of, like, a disturbance. Like, if the water is completely calm and the water is shadows in the world, and there's a pebble that gets dropped in, I think Xaden can be like, okay, someone just entered the room.
Yes.
And feel that.
There's no way shadows can tell him exact conversations. That doesn't make any sense. I think shadows are more of a physical strength than a mental strength, whereas his intention reading is more of his mental strength than his physical strength. So he gets both sides of what he exudes.
I want Xaden's point of view for the whole, like, series solely so I can hear Sigale.
I wonder how much he blocks her out and how much he talks to her. Because I feel like they both want their, like, personal space.
I also want them to be, like, best friends, though.
I would love that.
Okay, so Xaden walks away. She has to figure this out. And then we go to chapter 11.
Chapter 11, epigraph.
Chapter 11, epigraph.
I like the way you say it better. This is from Major Roraley's Guide to Appeasing the Gods, 2nd edition. My first question, how does Rebecca decide what edition of each book she's going to put out?
Is this random? Is this a clue?
Nothing
Rebecca?
is random. Nothing is random.
What happened to the first edition?
Are there more editions? Is this the best one?
I have a theory.
I want to hear it. Do you want me to read this first and then we can talk about it?
No, because it has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So, at some point, the continent broke up. Mm-hmm. And there's those islands.
It was like Pangea. Like breaking into pieces like it is now.
There are those islands that Violet and the Quest Squad visits in book 3. And then there is Navarre and Peromiel. Each little island really worships one god. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if it was more like isolated, where you might have only really worshipped one god, but now in the Navarre, you kind of worship all 6. So maybe the first one was like more of like individually, and now it's more of like united gods instead of God.
I just accept it.
I mean, it's not like a huge world-breaking theory. It's just
no,
like
it makes a lot of sense.
It's just like, that could be why.
I also think there's a 7th god.
I have heard that. I have.
Yeah.
It's in Darna. Just in Darna.
I don't know who it is.
I know, I don't think it is that, but I just want the young, sassy Darna to be a god. Worship her sass.
I am so upset that people hated her as a teen in that book.
It's the same thing of like me hating the 3rd book of Harry Potter.
It's developmentally appropriate.
Yeah, it's just, I think with Harry Potter, it's mopey and gropey, and with Darna, it's just sass.
It's so sassy. She's like, I have the rage of 9,000 of you!
And then she's like, go! she's so like dog-coded, where she's like squirrel.
Yeah.
Fuck Jack Barlow, squirrel. I'm sleeping, shut up!
Here's the epigraph. It is a grave offense against Malak to keep the belongings of a dead loved one. They belong in the beyond with the god of death and the departed. In the absence of a proper temple, any fire will do. He who does not burn for Malak will be burned by Malak. Which this had me thinking about the temples. And Rebecca said something very interesting. She said that there are... You know how we know for a fact that Violet was dedicated to a temple?
Yes.
But she looks a little different than the people of that temple?
Yeah, I'm assuming because she didn't like fully complete her dedication.
It's because she wasn't dedicated at the temple. Rebecca said she was dedicated somewhere else. So I guess our goal would be to figure out where she was dedicated and why that affects the way she looks. And why she was dedicated in the first place. Dune, the goddess of war and strength.
Okay, strength. I can understand that. Of like, she was ill.
Okay.
And she had this illness. And dedicating her... Because we know it's her dad that does it. Maybe he thought that, like, if he dedicated her to the goddess of strength, Violet would have the strength to live. Not just, like, her willpower, but, like, the physical strength to live.
I also think it's a protection against the venom in the wyvern.
I could also see that.
Because he already knows that, too.
And we also see that with, what's her guts? Indoliqui?
I forget how to pronounce it.
The one venom that gets defeated because of the temple.
Yeah.
I did not realize that she didn't get dedicated there, and that's why.
I agree. That was, like, groundbreaking information for me.
I truly thought that it was just, like...
They were, like, rushed, or they ran out of time, or...
Or, like, she needed to do another step.
Yeah.
Because there's a kid there that has the exact same hair as Violet, where it's, like, half and half. So
that kid was dedicated outside of the temple. Why? And how did that kid end up there? And why is that kid important for us to see?
I think it's important for us to see because then we can tell that, like, Violet. It's a connection.
That's where Violet's from. Yeah.
Daddy Sorgale! Epigraph!
Epigraph. We read it. So, in this, we kind of figure out, like, there's been a long history of burning things and giving them back to Malik, but it's not just to Malik, they're giving them back to the original owners, which I like better than them, like, being crude to the people who are still living.
Yeah.
I like being able to get that.
And it ties back to, like, why those are the two choices, or the choice to have the burning pit for them, and it also, like, brings you to the fact of her having Brennan's book is just another taboo. So, it is the morning of presentation.
Mm-hmm. And we open up with a pretty depressing scene going through death roll, and I can't imagine, like, every day hearing the people that you're starting to care about's names get listed off, and each day you get closer with them regardless of how much you try not to, because you learn more about them and it's human nature, and you just have to listen and be like, yep, they're dead, now it's time to move on, bye.
It's the last, like, you get one name and that's it.
Yep.
And she messaged that, like, a lot of people have died in the last 2 weeks. They're actually down to 107 first years. No, 171 first years. Which is crazy when they started at 301.
Yeah.
She also talks about how she is closer to the front because every day the formation gets smaller and smaller. And then they just have to go on with their day, and then they're going to the Gauntlet for presentation. And so now it's every first year is going to be there going through the Gauntlet, either before you or after you. They also say, like, there is a couple second years and third years also on Gauntlet duty. We know that the wing leaders are there, so Xaden's there, and there's people that's helping out just with, like, timing, organizing people, and things of that nature. And they head to the Gauntlet.
We meet Quinn.
We do meet Quinn. I like Quinn. We don't get to hear a lot about her this book.
No, we also meet Cianna. Cianna? Cianna. It's Cianna.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that one.
And we meet Heaton. I don't remember at all.
His third year.
Yeah.
They don't talk much. They talk a little bit more once threshing happens. I know that they're a little bit more prevalent, but I only really hear about them in the God games.
At the end.
Is it God games? It's not God games.
War games?
War games. Yeah, at the end. Keaton does wish all the first years good luck in his squad.
What I found super interesting about Cianna and Heaton. So Cianna is an executive officer. So that's kind of cool. We get to learn more about, like, leadership roles. But then Heaton has a circular patch on their upper right arm with water and floating spheres. I looked up what their signet was.
They breathe underwater, don't they?
Yeah, breathing underwater. So, it's really cool that they all have different patches that represent the things that they can do.
But not everyone wears patches, which is also interesting.
Xaden.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck you, you don't get to know nothing about me. Which makes sense.
Who was the one? Was it Heaton also the person? Yeah. They wear a triangular patch with a sword, which basically means don't mess with them on the mat.
I wonder if Liam will have that.
He has to.
Yeah, he like always described as like one of the best.
Yeah. They're trying to not seem as anxious and nervous as they would be on this day because this is terrifying. And Ria's like, haha, funny. And then Violet is like, what, are you nervous about, like, your history test or something? And then Rhea's like, oh yeah, I can't get down the Treaty of Arif, actually, I have no idea what that is. And then Violet just casually says, it's the agreement between Navarre and Krovla for mutually shared airspace for both dragons and griffins over a narrow strip of the Espine Mountains between Somerton and Drathus. Great, thanks, Violet.
Can we just talk about how rude the professors are on literally having presentation and then the next day being like, yeah, you're gonna have a history test.
That is such a valid point. But that would be one thing I'd be like, well, if I don't make it through, at least I don't have to take my history test.
Fair enough. But I would have been pissed if I studied. They are walking to the Gauntlet. They like mention that they are the biggest squad because they've only lost one person. Mm-hmm. And Dane hasn't been looking at Violet this whole morning, but now that they're walking, he's like,
he grabs her hand. They're holding hands like this.
Very romantic, I guess. And then he's like, change your mind. Please, please change your mind.
I'm over it.
I am too. But I love the fact that Violet's like, no, like, I'm not gonna leave just as much as you wouldn't leave Calf and go to the scribe cottage yourself. And he's like, that's different. I'm a writer. And she's like, well, maybe I am too.
I love that part. Because she is.
She's lived 2 months, Dane.
And, like,
believe in her.
She easily gets through all of the obstacle courses that she has to face, except for the parts that have to challenge her height. If she was taller, she probably wouldn't have a problem with those either. Yeah. Like, she is so capable.
She is capable, and I'm over Dane not fucking realizing it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, because it's the Gauntlet Day and presentation, every single squad is there. Yes. To go through and work through it. So, of course,
Jack effing Barlow's there.
Yeah. But they're all there.
And so, it is Violet's turn. We know that Jack is up top. Rhea is up top. She's cheering for her. Jack is being a dick to her. And Violet makes it through all 4 out of 5 challenges. Really good. She's been really good at those.
Hasn't used a single rope.
Has not used a single rope. The riders can use ropes, but they cannot use a rope to climb down today. It is either you finish the gauntlet or you fall to your death.
Do you imagine?
That'd be terrifying.
Like, the rope is long enough to let me climb down. What you gonna do if I do that?
Burn you.
Yeah. Before Violet really starts getting into everything, she has been thinking about what Xaden said to her throughout the night, and they've all been trying to come up with a plan. So her, Rhea, and Riddick, they were all trying to figure out how, and Sawyer, they were all trying to figure out how she could pass this. And Vi stayed up pretty much all night trying to come to a conclusion, and she finally did, taking Xaden's advice.
She has a plan. She doesn't know if it's going to work, but she has a plan. Mm-hmm. So she's at a 4 of 5. She is now at the chimney. She has not actually been able to conquer this. So the chimney and the basically wall climb she has not touched these at all. So her in her clever mind, she grabs the rope and uses it kind of as tension to climb the chimney. So smart. So smart.
She's a genius. I love the scribe part of her mind that makes her this smart.
I agree. And then she's at the basically vertical wall climb.
Which she's never even attempted before.
Has not. And she runs, and she gets halfway there, and before she starts feeling the gravity, she takes one of her daggers and stabs it and holds on.
And she's 8 feet up. Her arm is 8 feet up. So she only has 2 feet left to go.
She can do it! She can do it! And so she uses that to climb up. She gets over the threshold. And she folds back over, takes the dagger. And then she's like, I did it! As her hands are bleeding from the rope and then from, climbing things.
Riddick and Rhea come over and they scoop her up in a hug. And they're like, you did it! You did it! You did it! She's like, thank the gods, they are holding me up right now, otherwise I would be falling over.
And then she hears, you cheated! That doesn't count! Mer.
What a pick-me.
From Amber Mavis, the girl Jane was so close to last year. But basically she's like, you used foreign objects, that's against the rules, you need to be disqualified. And she goes to Xaden, and she's like, what are you going to do? She's in your squad. And Xaden gives Violet the chance to be like, Tell me your reasoning. Tell me why I shouldn't consider you as a cheater.
And Vi says, according to Article 3, Section 6, Addendum B, I can use anything I brought across the parapet with me for anything because it is now a part of me based on this addendum.
And Amber's like, that's for people to not steal from you. And she's like, well, it qualifies. And then Violet also says, like, I understand I'm going to get the 30-second ding for using the rope. But other than that, I didn't cheat. Xaden's like, she has you there. And Amber is not happy about
She's
that.
so mad.
And then Xaden's like, you're leaking. And Violet looks down and she is. Her blood just dripping down her hand.
He's like, go take care of that. And she's like, yeah, you're right.
You're right. I should probably do that before I bleed out or something.
But everyone in the squad makes it who's still alive.
Yes, they all make it. No one passed away from the squad. We're all happy. We're all here. And that's the end of chapter 10. Well,
we're all proud of Violet.
We are very proud of Violet.
Even Xaden, he's impressed. He's like, she got you there. I'm with her.
She proves day and day and day that she is meant to be there. And
I forgot that Garrick was a section leader.
Yeah, he is.
All right, the archives are closed. Now it is time for the bonded breakdown.
This is the chapter I break.
Yeah.
This is the chapter I die. This is the chapter I leave and run away. This is the chapter I realize I am not cut out for this place.
Unless I grow wings, there is no way I am getting through the gauntlet.
No chance in all of... If Zanal gave me all of their blessings, there is still no chance.
I don't blame Tynan. I would have climbed down before I even got on, honestly. I'd grab the first rope and I would slide my ass to the bottom.
Okay, so like, first, let's go item by item, Larissa.
Okay, let me pull that list back up so we have it.
There's no point, because everyone is a fail.
But we're gonna do it anyway. Here we go. Okay, so the first ascent. It's the 15-foot log that's parallel with the cliff at the start of the uphill climb. So do we cross that 15-foot log? Do we make it? I think we could use our scooch and slide approach.
It rotates.
Yeah, we could hang on.
I'm thinking about the rotating, like, the log roll at a lake.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't stay on that.
Well, it doesn't go underwater, and I think this one is a little slimmer, so I think we might be able to hold on.
Okay, we'll do our scoots approach. We might be able to do it. If we're quick enough, maybe.
I think, yeah, we could do it.
Okay.
If with practice, we definitely could. Well, in this life.
In this world where we somehow made it.
And then followed by 4 granite pillars, each one higher than the last, and each pillar is about 3 feet apart that we have to jump across. If the pillars were thick, I might be able to figure that one out.
These ones are not the moving ones. I think I could probably jump.
Oh, we're longer than 3 feet. We could just lay down. Like, flop yourself over onto the next one. It would hurt, but we could do it.
Okay, now we're in that rolling circle with one door. It's just timing. I think if I can get timing and get out.
Because that you have to jump from to go onto the hanging balls, right?
Do you think...
It's in the picture, it's at the corner of the turn. I don't know how much space there is between that spinning wheel that's on the corner of the turn and you going to the balls. But this is for sure where I'd be trying to swing from a chandelier.
Like,
Yeah, so you jump from the spinning and you go straight onto the balls. So my goal would be to grip onto the string from the balls that's like hanging there. And then I would sit and I would be swinging from each ball.
I think the balls would be my downfall.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I promise you, I'm not going to be able to do the iron poles that you hold on and swing to.
Oh, yeah. I have no upper body strength.
Yeah, I've never been able to do monkey bars, and that's like 7 times worse.
I could probably hang from my legs, though.
That's a tactic that I didn't think about.
I don't know how good it would work to go from one to the next with my legs. Yeah. But yeah, the balls, if in this magical world we somehow even make it there, would be my downfall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the pillars that are like stairs that spin different directions.
So you have to be really fast on those to not really feel the movement, but just like tap it to springboard off
just
to the next
moving.
one.
If I can keep moving, okay? If I can keep moving. Maybe. Chimney, also cannot do. Not doing it.
I like her rope method, though. That would be more likely, but I still couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. Like, that's very smart for her, but I don't have enough upper body strength to do it.
Yeah.
And then the wall. We're shy of, we're like 6'8". Fuck.
What? Yeah. Whoa. Maybe we are riders.
We're like 5'8".
Yeah.
So how high do you think you can jump?
My vertical leap is negative. I leap and I fall.
I would need a really strong ass fucking dagger.
A sword. Because Garrick has his 2 swords strapped to his back that he might have brought with him. If you had a couple like he does, you could use them as stepping stones.
Oh. Or even just like 2 daggers.
Yeah.
I might be able to do that one. It would not be easy. Let me make this really clear. This is in a fictional world where we are dragon riders.
Where we're cadets.
We are almost dragon riders.
We would have been dead before this even started if we're being so for real.
Yeah, we are giving us all of the
leeway.
But like maybe I can do like the double. Violet got stronger in those last 2 months. You and me would be training our asses off. We could get stronger.
Sure.
We're not making it. We're not making it.
I'm thinking, like, how would we be training? Because you and I would be just laughing or crying.
We would be training at 3 a.m. when there was no one there. And we could cry and just be like, 4 more reps. Okay. Why are we here? The Shadow Daddy. Okay.
But you would be able to say at the end of the gauntlet, if you make it up, you could give Xaden a high five.
So you
Not
made
that
it
he
up.
would let us.
You make it up, Larissa. You're looking over the flying fields. What is your first thought?
I'm gonna puke.
My first thought is like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Thank God I don't ever have to fucking do that again.
Yeah, I'm glad I get to climb how many stairs to get here next time.
1,000, 5,000,
yeah.
10,000.
At this point, I'll do 1,000,000. I just never want to do that again.
I will do all the steps. It would be a really hard day losing your first squad mate. Like,
yeah.
I agree with Violet. It's getting hard because you're getting to know people a lot more. But it would be hard when it's like someone that's like always with you.
Would you be the person who burns her stuff for her?
So, I always thought that it was really weird that Violet burned it.
I agree.
Her logic of, I was the last person she saw. Like, I understand the compassion, and I get that. I just was like, but why? Like, in my brain, it would make more sense if the whole squad went.
I agree with that as well. But she also realizes that this is a norm for the people who are used to this type of thing, for riders, for cadets. And she thinks differently. So her thought process is, I care about this. I need to do this, and I need to do what feels right for me, even if it is strange. So she takes her stuff and she goes.
If in my squad someone passed away and no one in that squad was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do it, yes, I would do it. Because I would want to give that person that one last bit of, like, honor.
And I would go with you if we were on the same squad just because I don't trust you to be alone.
Thanks. It would be hard. But it is reality. Death is always going to be there, and even, I think Xaden says the perfect quote of, it's what makes you a rider isn't, like, the death, but it's what you do after.
Yeah. Okay, so you're Violet. It's right after you burned all this stuff. You're hiding in the shadows because you hear the three coming in. He excuses them, but you overheard that conversation. What are you thinking about the conversation those three are having? Are you thinking about it?
I don't think in the moment I would be thinking about it. I think in the moment I would be, like, so...
Overwhelmed.
Like, overwhelmed with grief, like, just with sadness, with death, and, like, the exhaustion of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would see him, and I think I would be very much like Violet, where I'd be, like, quick and be like, I'm over it, Xaden, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to, what's my chances here? And are you going to kill me or not? Like, am I going to live or not? But I don't think I would be thinking about it. I think once I'd got back to the dorms and I was laying there, I would be like, why were they out? What do you mean they want to help them more, and how can they help
And why were
them?
they out with their dragons? Because she made that connection.
Yeah, like, who are they helping? I think at that point I would be thinking, but not at the point. What about you? You would be giggling. You're like, oh my god, Shadow Boy.
I probably would have been too exhausted to even hide in the shadows. I would have just been standing there caught. They all would have seen me, which would have gone a different way.
It probably would have, actually.
I think after the exhaustion, I would have been like, honestly, I don't want to go through the process of me losing anyone else. So, like, if you're going to kill me, just do it. Or let me go to bed, because I'm over this right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been thinking about anything. Just being tired.
That's so fair. Crazy. Conclusion, we would not make the Gauntlet.
Nope.
But in this fantasy world where we're living through Violet halfway, we made it.
Yay!
Presentation day. Craziness. Okay. Is there any lore from the listeners?
We do not have any right now.
That's okay.
But
go ahead.
if you would like to give us some listener lore to talk about, we would love to. So
We would.
send us your hot takes, leave reviews, ask us questions, give your bookish opinions.
Answer the
Send
questions.
in some any stories, answer all the questions. That's truly our favorite part. And answer all the poll questions that we post with each episode. And I know you're watching because I see it. So answer the poll. It's just below the video or the audio, whichever way you're listening.
It's very. But so next week we are covering chapters 12, 13, and 14. It's going to be presentation and threshing.
Yay!
We
so it might be a
dragons.
little bit of a longer episode because we're talking about more, but some of the chapters are shorter, so it might be normal. But get ready for dragons!
We will be excited to see you. Don't forget to bring a snack and get a beverage. And we'll see you next week on Booked and Bonded.